Welcome back. Week 3, Happy Body, Happy Mind. I'm Shelby.
Hiya.
And Kat. So this week, man, this week is liberation. Liberation. In yogic Sanskrit, there's a few different words for liberation. Moksha means to be liberated, as well as samadhi is a liberated form of meditation where you are in complete absorption with the entire union of the universe inside of you and outside of you. What we think of with this is a consistent practice so the path of the yogi is this, y'all. You put yourself into a committed, disciplined practice over and over and over again. And you ask yourself a question, just like you've been doing for the last 3 weeks, through all of this self-inquiry, through meditation, and through asana. You ask yourself, whatever you're seeking to find out, like, what do I need to know more about myself? How do I react if this happens? What's my tendency here? What's my tendency there? And as the insights arise, you apply them in your next practice. And you apply them again and again and again until a new awareness arises. So liberation comes in so many different forms, and I'm not going to tell you what you're not. What you are is totally capable of being slightly liberated every day in macro and micro ways. Getting your alignment really refined and understanding the nuances of the pose, it gives you this form of self-acceptance and compassion and self-love that lets you really walk through life unshackled and unbridled by any of the conformities that you've been living from. So sitting with yourself daily and putting yourself through a rigorous physical practice and breathing, all with the intention of knowing yourself more fully, leads to liberation. So if 21 days can do it, I mean, why aren't we doing it more? Just joking. Okay, so liberation. We are going to do 2 poses. We're going to do Warrior 3. It's a single leg balancing pose. And handstand, arm balance with your legs in the air. And we'll do one at the wall so that you can have some drills to practice at home. Remember to keep this in mind. Everything that we've been talking about over the past 3 weeks, through chaturanga, cobra, triangle, revolved crescent lunge, and now our poses for this week, all have the same foundational, fundamental alignment techniques, and each week they just transform into a little bit more refined experience. Okay, so just growing and adding and getting a little bit fancier. Cat, we're gonna do Warrior 3 first. So we'll start in a forward fold again, just like we did in week 2. Allowing the psoas to be steady and stable, getting really rooted and grounded in her legs so that she can make her stance really strong. Take a full inhale and a complete exhale. Wonderful. Take a giant step back with your right foot. And then come up through a high lunge. Awesome. Steady for balance. Good. Hands to heart center. So working Warrior 3 is very much like plank and chaturanga and revolved crescent lunge, except for we're not twisting. So legs are strong, hips are square, and they stay square. The tendency is for the hip to fly open. So let's talk about it. She's going to shift forward, breathe in, hinge her spine at 45-degree angle, and then stand into her left leg to float her right leg up. Hands at heart center gives her a little bit more balance point. Great. So notice her standing leg is slightly bent. This allows you to load weight in your quad, hamstrings, and in your hip, rather than jamming out your knee to hyperextension. It also allows you to fire your hamstring in a way that keeps your hips level. Like if I had a glass of Topo Chico right here, it would not spill. But the tendency is to fly open. But if I had a Topo Chico on this hip, it would spill over there. So bend the knee, wrap your outer right hip down. This is very similar to a lunge. Can you see it? It's just got one leg lifted. Now, like plank, she's going to extend her arms straight out, up dog in her chest, steady in her hips. Warrior 3, flying through space. Big breath in, big breath out, step back to a lunge, and downward facing dog, because it'll feel good on her hip. Does that feel good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So keep practicing. Remember, standing legs slightly bent so that you can fire your hamstring and roll your outer hip down. Remember, Topo Chico on your hips, not to spill. Hands at heart center, and then full extension. Have a wonderful day. Flying through. Hey everybody, Happy Body, Happy Mind Challenge. This is your last pose breakthrough tutorial. Sad to say it, but we did it and it's been real. We hope you're feeling stronger and happier and more connected to your center. Our final pose is handstand. We are going to do handstand drills that you can do at home or practice in class whenever you're giving some time to do, like free time to do an inversion of your choice. What we know about handstand is it's standing on your hands, inversion, arm balance. So 2 drills that you can work at home, level 1 and level 2. Kat, will you come to the tabletop? Okay. Our first pose, our first drill is L-shaped handstand. This is sure to get your shoulders strong and steady and also open. And then activating your center so that you can stay upright. Kat comes on the tabletop. She's got her hips stacked over her knees, her shoulders stacked over her breast. Her feet are flat against the baseboard. All you need at home is a mat and a wall. Always make sure your mat touches all over the baseboard, not a space in between, because it can slide away if you're not careful. So from tabletop, take a full breath in. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. She keeps everything where she's at. She just extends her legs and lifts her hips. Full inhale, complete exhale, and then walk your feet in line with your hips. Push into the wall and shoot your hips towards the center of the room. So the tendency here is for feet to kind of run down the wall. Can you kind of show that? Like running down the wall. Yeah, just like that. And all that means is that you're not reaching your hips far enough out, right? So if you find yourself running down the wall or sliding down the wall, just take your hips further towards the center of the room. Good. Now you see that she's in an L-shaped handstand. This is harder than a regular handstand. It puts a lot of weight on your shoulders, but it allows you to get your upper back in, so your shoulders are getting more open, while bearing weight, conditioning your strength. Hips over shoulders over wrists. And then she can take her ribs in, just like plank, just like chaturanga. Good stuff. Awesome. Try to do that start with 30 seconds, then 45 seconds, and then 1 minute, and then 3 1-minute L-shaped handstands. Go. Not yet. Now we're going to do handstand at the wall, but not like you know. Normally, we kick up against the wall with our hands facing the wall and our back against the wall. Will you show that? Generally, what we do is we come into a downward facing dog, and then we walk in, and then on the exhale, you kick up. So breathe in, breathe out, kick up. And what happens is it's really easy for your hips to hit the wall and you to tip. Make yourself a banana back, like sway your hips. What not to do? Yeah. So it's really easy to get this tipping action. A handstand is straight up and down. So we're going to take it out of the equation and come down. And we're going to start with our L-shaped handstand and then we're going to walk back against the wall so that we can ensure that long, straight center axis line. Okay? Tabletop. Breath in. Breath out. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Feet on the wall, L-shaped handstand. Pull your feet down just a little bit. Yeah? Now she's more in an L. She was almost in a diagonal line, but we're doing L-shaped, not diagonal line shape. Okay, now just lift one leg, Kat. There you go, she can practice here. It's still getting this overarching thing because she's looking for the wall. But handstand is ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, and wrists all in one line. She's going to take her foot back to the wall, and she's going to walk her hands back and kick her feet up. Her hands are it's hard. You've been holding it. Yeah. You can do it. This is not for, this is but totally worth it. If your wrist gets sore, just gently press the tops of your hands together. You don't have to push hard, just let them press into each other. And also, you could do some forearm stretches before. Grab your fingers and grip them out. L-shaped handstand into handstand at the wall. So you can go right into it the way you know. She goes straight up and walks back. Yeah. Now she presses her whole body against the wall. Her face is even almost touching the wall. If you look at it, you can see her nose is like literally kissing the wall. And then she's pulling her belly in and her feet are flexed. So she has a totally easy way to find that long straight line of energy. And to come out of it, it's like a cartwheel. Whee! Not the easiest thing to do, but this is your liberation. Warrior 3 is just like L-shaped handstand, except for it's balancing on one leg. And L-shaped handstand and handstand against the wall with your front against the wall. Practice all of those things. Get really strong, steady, and connected to the midline. Hips square, shoulders back, belly in. Rise. Rise, transform, liberation. Thanks everybody. We hope you really enjoyed these last 3 weeks together. And we are so excited for everything that's coming for you. Practice and all is coming. It's one of the ancient quotes. So stay with it. Stick it. See you on your mat.